Let me begin by thanking Ukraine's Sanctions Commissioner Vlasuk for the initiative to convene the inaugural Sanctions Summit in Kyiv. Once again, I wish to thank Denmark for supporting this event and for its consistent leadership on sanctions policy and its valuable assistance to Ukraine. The fact that so many senior sanctions officials are gathered here today shows that sanctions are a shared operational tool to uphold the international order, protect civilian lives, and constrain Russia's ability to wage its war of aggression. Effective sanctions policy and close coordination with our partners remains a priority defined by the President of Ukraine and implemented by the government, including the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Reinforced sanctions pressure remains an important instrument to create conditions in which Russia is forced to choose peace over war. And as long as Russia continues to reject every peace effort, sanctions against it must only increase. This is why Ukraine, together with its partners in the European Union, is preparing proposals for a robust 20-year sanctions package, which should include additional measures targeting Russia's energy sector, to the shadow fleet and the companies sustaining the aggressor's military-industrial complex and those complicit in the abduction of Ukrainian children. We also need stronger and more coordinated efforts that will restrict the financial flows feeding Russia's war machine and erode its capacity to continue the aggression. Equally important is a firm decision on the reparations loan, a mechanism that will enable the full use of frozen Russian sovereign assets and provide predictable and sustainable support for Ukraine's resilience and recovery. Every Russian missile and every Russian drone striking our cities and civil infrastructure contains components originating from specific jurisdictions, making it essential that we work together to strengthen export controls, monitor supply chains, and ensure accountability for all those who enable Russia's military industry. I trust that the decisions over the next 2 days will allow us to align our strategies so that sanctions bring the necessary impact, one that ends Russia's war and ensures continued support for Ukraine. I thank you.
To welcome you in Kyiv today, and your presence here in Kyiv is a sign of solidarity for us, and strengthen the sanction coalition against the aggression state. Of course, I want to say thank you to each of you and to every country and every institutions for the sanctions that already adopted and for all our joint efforts to stop the Russian war machine and establish a just and lasting peace for Ukraine. All your actions and decisions have already significantly limited Russia's ability to wage war of aggression. According to the latest estimation, this November, Russia's oil and gas revenue have dropped by 35% compared to November last year. And this figures confirms that our joint actions are effective, and we need to continue to increase economic pressure and to improve the sanction policy. I would like to focus on the next steps in this direction, and just want to underline once again that, of course, working on energy sanctions and the shadow fleet are extremely important. And in my list is the top priority. The sanctions that have been already imposed, from my personal opinion, are not enough. And Russia continues to use its shadow fleet to profit from oil. Therefore, broader measures should be taken against the captains of the ships, against the insurers, as well as oil giants, refineries, and trades. Second is in technology and components for weapon. David, I remember that last time you visited Kyiv and we looked at the Shaheeds and drones and missiles, and we saw that the components goes from Europe and from US. Unfortunately, we still witnessing this situation, and it's mean that it's important to develop the mechanism or to cut off such opportunities for the aggressor and increase the responsibility for producers. The third one is a financial sanction. So what we are witnessing right now, that Russia actively uses cryptocurrencies and hybrid financial schemes. The flow amounts to billions of dollars every month. So we need to find the solution, how to stop it. And I think it should be and can be one of the part of this discussion today. And first step is a personal sanction. We have fully synchronized our sanction list with the European Union, and we see our proposals reflected in the relevant decisions for our partners. And one more important thing that I want to emphasize that, of course, frozen Russian assets. So we are considering the decision can be taken by the end of December, and it's a working element, a working tool for us how this Russian assets can work for Ukraine. And I really hope that the European Council will take this decision by the end of December. And I do believe that everything that we're going to discuss today, so it's extremely important tool, not only how to stop Russia, but also how to prevent the new wars globally. And if we want to achieve sustainable just peace and aggression not be repeated, we must strengthen the sanctions architecture as much as it's possible. And I do believe that sanctions can be effective when they are adopted jointly, swiftly, coordinated, and politically bravely. So I really hope that today we're going to have effective discussion, and I'm grateful to all delegation, of course, to David O'Sullivan. It's not our first meeting, so it's a big friend of Ukraine, and also we also thank you to Danish government for helping organizing this important platform. Thank you.
2 days ago, Kyiv was burning again. 6 people were killed, many more injured. And these are only the headlines that you may read in the newspaper. What follows after all of these bombings, and this is now on a daily basis throughout the country, including Kyiv, is blackout for many hours. Over the weekend, there were regions in Kyiv that had blackout for 21 hours a day. And let me just make that clear. It's not only that you don't have electricity and you can switch on your candles, but in all the high-rises, you don't have water and you don't have heat. And this is the reality that we are living here. Even if this ballroom looks like nothing like this is true, this is all running multiple hours a day on generators and diesel fuel. So that's the reality of Russia's bombing. And while the world is now with impatience looking at the peace efforts that are ongoing, Russia just continues bombing. This is what really terrorism looks like, because the targets are private houses, the targets are shopping malls, schools. I was just this Monday in Mykolaiv looking at the municipal building that's in tatters, or schools that were destroyed. So let's not have any illusion about the intentions of the Putin regime. They don't understand diplomacy. They only understand power. And I think one of the strongest tools that we have are sanctions. And so it's great that we are talking here today about them. And allow me to quote the American economist Nicholas Mulder, who wrote recently in the Financial Times, "Sanctions may not be fast, but then when they are coordinated and long-term, they change the parameters of an aggressor's entire economy." And that's exactly why we need to talk about it. We have done in the EU 19 packages. There will be obviously discussion of that going further. That's essential. But equally important, and I want to finish with that, what the Prime Minister mentioned, is the reparation law, is the ability, and I very much hope that we will prove the ability in practice of indeed using the Russian central bank assets to give Ukraine the financial stability it needs, because it will send a very important message to Ukraine, first of all, second of all to Russia, and third of all to the whole world, that we are able to deliver on the commitment to Ukraine, and in fact make Russia pay. And I think that would be a decisive measure, showing that we are standing firm with Ukraine until this terrible war is over. Thank you very much.